All right, so it's time to start moving through the story missions. We're gonna open up with the Witch Queen mission, since this will get us into weapon crafting, and weapon crafting is like incredibly important in the game, I think. There's tons of ways to get loot throughout the game, just, you know, the original just grinding lot drops until they give you the roll you want. But I think crafting is a really good base for getting yourself at least started with some solid loot. The downside is that farming craftable weapons can kind of be a pain in the ass, but fortunately you get a few of them kind of for free. A solar auto rifle, as well as a void linear fusion rifle, and these are actually really good guns. You can also unlock the craftable shotgun, the Roghield, something like that, and it's usually pretty easy to unlock. You just need to find a couple of red borders for it, and those are world drops, so that means it's incredibly normal to just find it around. Here we're going to be running through the mission. I kind of want to show some stuff because it can be a little confusing. Like here, you can find these white circles on the ground and they'll give you these flags. You can use those flags to reload your ammo. So when playing campaign missions, I would say don't forget to do that because you can run out of ammo and it can be a little tough to handle some of these areas. This room, I just kind of dispatch the guys pretty easily. It can be a little tough if you're new to the game, so do make sure to kind of like keep your distance, play your ranges. You can see that I was using a sniper rifle and my grenade launcher to kind of like deal with them from afar, and then my ulti to finish off the bosses. So a good deal of the footage will just be me moving through, because I was walking through it and I kind of realized that this can be really confusing to new players. One of my friends who was just starting actually has that problem a lot, where he keeps kind of getting lost along the journey here through the Witch Queen missions. So I decided to keep this in here because it is a little confusing. Like here you can go left or right. At the first bridge, you don't really know where you're supposed to go. There it can look like you're supposed to cross, but you're not. So for the most part, you can press tab and you'll see a diamond on the middle of your screen and you can just head that direction, but sometimes it can be a little confusing. Like this area is a little confusing too because it doesn't exactly tell you, but by defeating kind of the bigger enemies, they will drop these tributes that you can bring to the platform, and once you click like 5 of them, it will open the door and you can move on with the game. So that can be a little confusing at first because it just kind of says you deliver tributes. And, yeah, that can be kind of a pain. Same thing actually happens here, where they kind of want you to find your way around, but if you're new to the game, you're not really used to Destiny jumping puzzles. So you'll see here that you're supposed to do kind of like a ping-ponging jumping around area until you reach the top level. And so if you're new, you could pretty easily get lost there for a while. So I want to make sure I left that in. Same thing here. It's kind of a big area. So you want to look for the ogre there who's shooting lasers at you, and the areas to his left and to his right will give you staircases that will lead you up to the next area. This one's fortunately pretty straightforward. You just follow the path, kill the dudes, move along. It can be a little tough at first because you might like fall off or you might get like booped off. But just be a little careful, play your ranges, abuse your melees. Here, definitely take these guys out before you jump, because my first time doing the mission, I was in fact blasted by the guy traveling over, and that did not go well. So to be a little careful, we want to get you guys through these story missions kind of as fast as we can, so you can move on to the rest of the game. These are really cool and like really beautiful, and you get like a lot of like lore in it, but you don't want to die a bunch to the bosses. So here, I just try to dispatch these guys pretty quickly. It can be pretty easy to get overwhelmed here, so I try to use my heavy weapons, my specials, and my abilities to dispatch the enemies as best I can. You crush that guy using your finisher. You have to bind it in your settings, so don't forget to bind your finisher when you're playing this section. And then here you can kind of see that I just run up and I just blast the dudes that spawn in this area as quick as I can, because that will give you the drops for the tributes. This time you only need 3 of them, so yeah, I just unload everything to get rid of them. They try to like move through it pretty quickly. Right here, we move over to the throne world. This is actually what the throne world will look like half the time when you go to the destination, and it's actually really cool. I really love the look and the design. But here, you just enter a battle room, another flag to get your ammo. And here you just, again, I play the ranges, I play the hand cannon, melee when somebody gets on top of me, move to the high ground, and then use my ulti to take care of the boss as soon as it shows up. So here, I kind of knew that there was going to be a bigger boss, so I didn't use it on some of the smaller yellow barred enemies that would have shown up. Right, here we're going to be working on the crafting unlock. You have to talk to Ikora, then go into the crafting room. They'll give you an item once you finish that cutscene. Shape, this is crafting, and this is modifying your currently crafted weapons. You have to have the weapon with you to reshape, but you cannot have it equipped So it has to be in your inventory to reshape. We have none right now, so we're gonna grab our first one, which is the enigma. So these will be your masterwork traits. As you can see, these ones are capped out until you're level 3. So we'll just grab the one that we can get. This is gonna take a bit of reading. You can just grab anything random, honestly, this early on. But basically, this is how weapons are constructed in the game, right? They have a bunch of perks that they could randomly roll into. And what crafting does, it allows you to specifically pick the perks you want based on the level of your weapon. So once your weapon's maxed out, you can unlock all the perks and specifically curate your own personalized god or whatever you want. So I'm gonna go with increased range because I don't use the shield much. LA mag for faster reloads. So I want to get blocking damage for your shield increases move speed. Don't know what that's about. I don't really take kill clip. All right, so now we're going to move on to doing the seasonal activity. You want to click on the helm from the destinations tab, and you'll see this icon up in the top left. This will be the mission for doing the catch crash, which is the current story we're on right now, and that will be moving on before next season begins. So this one's pretty straightforward. It's a little easy to get lost up here, but as long as you use the press tab, see diamond, and follow the diamond, you will get through this one pretty easily. It's not as confusing as the Witch Queen one. Though there are a lot of enemies, so you want to be really careful and like kind of economical with your movement. I've been super lucky with this submachine gun I got because this gun has a rampage on it, which is a cool perk that gives you bonus damage on kills. So as long as I just keep taking down enemies in like a few seconds, it ends up being like a really, really good ad clearing weapon. I'm also abusing this crafted weapon here because one of the crafting missions is to give this one enhanced intrinsic as well as enhanced perks. And so you need to level it up to like level 7 or something to get access to all of those. So trying to make sure I take use of it. And it's a pretty strong special weapon, as you can see here. That actually probably does a better job than like using an auto rifle or something. My problem is it uses special ammo, so that can be a little rough, but again, as long as you're kind of economical with your use of the weapon and the ammo. You see here, I'm kind of like playing my ranges to deal with those servitors because they're giving immunity to the boss, and I really want them taken care of. But I also don't want to get like one shot by the boss by being too close to them. I do really enjoy kind of like playing the edge and being like too close. As you can see, there are a couple of times I kind of like ran into him, ran past him, kind of like skated around. But it is definitely much better to play your ranges. Yeah, play your ranges. If you have a lot of ability spam your abilities. If you have a melee build, use your melees. But yeah, I was trying to play my ranges a bit more here. I want to use a playstyle here where I'm a bit more intelligent, because generally I would like to mindlessly like do stuff and just like be super monkey-like and ape. You know, I'm a Titan player. The pink crowns are best. Pink crowns are best. Okay, but now that we have that, we have both the artifact and the seasonal mission, which means we can now move on to random drops. So you just have to play the game and farm to find some. Ooh, high resilience. So for out here, I'm gonna grab that high resilience. Upgrade module it. Upgrade a couple times. Minor resilience mod. I'm actually gonna throw that on every piece of armor right here. What's up? The armor here. Now that we have the orbs of power, actually, we don't have to worry as much about it. We don't really need this. Gain extra stack of charge with light. Not necessarily a big deal. And here we can make ourselves a little bit tankier. This does melee resistance, so close enemies deal less damage, far enemies deal less damage. And the reason we're adding all resilience mods is because resilience mods make us tankier by like a lot, especially if you can get max resilience, which is 100. Reduce cooldowns each time we get an orb of power. Can be kind of cool, because then I can put can't afford energy fire. If I could get high energy fire on a different piece. Well, this is my taking charge piece, I remember. So let's see, armor on everything. I have 83 resilience. which means I have a 26% damage reduction. I can take a lot more damage, but once we get to 100, it'll be 40% damage reduction. Insane. Okay, so you can upgrade once. You can make this one high energy fire. We can take off high energy fire and make this one taking charge, so that we have room for kinetic siphon. So, stat increase resilience, harmonic siphon, kinetic siphon, taking charge, so we can pick up orbs of light. I switched to this armor because you can see its resilience is already at 17, meaning it was making it a lot easier for us to get higher resilience. Same thing here, right? I made this swap because it has 22. These are some pretty lucky high numbers. I hope you guys are just as lucky. So again, armor stat increase, high energy fire here, just because that's how the cookie crumbled. That's largely because the mods here I don't actually want to use, so I don't have to use these 2 middle mods for now until we unlock more of them. Here, we wanted these mods, so that's why this back end is kind of empty. We can actually put something here because this one we found was a really high level, so we didn't actually have to upgrade it ourselves because we were missing enhancement prisms materials. So we could actually just put something in this final slot. Where it's like, oh, become charged light by breaking shields. So we'll just throw that on so we can just have another source of charge with light. Try to give the maximum uptime for our high energy fire, which is like a 20% damage increase, something like that. Right, boots have absolution, and this is just when you pick up an orb of power, it reduces the cooldown of your abilities. So by generating lots of orbs of power, we can get lots of ability cooldown. These are kind of like the cheap versions because we would want to use elemental well mods, but yeah, it's looking good. So like one more time, let's pick a color. That one was cool, but I think I don't like this one. I'm trying to find a good blue. We'll go with shiny blue. So thanks for watching, Guardians. It's been really fun. I'm glad I can try to help you guys out and give you some information. There's a lot to learn in basically each one of these episodes because there's a lot of info going on in the game. So I'm gonna try to give you the best I can, and I'll try to drop like shorts here or there to kind of give additional information as well. So we're currently about 4 to 5 hours in, and we're kind of roughly done with all of like the earliest stuff. So now we can start completing more stories and unlocking the destinations. And when most of the destinations are fully unlocked, we can really start like fine-tuning how we want to get our loot. I guess as a last bit of info, if you want to farm loot, one of the primary places you can actually go to do this is going to Eternity. Eternity, with the Dares of Eternity, this drops old weapons and armor from past seasons, and by completing it you will collect treasure keys, which you can come here and use to open the main treasure chest at the front. By doing this, you will actually get access to another set of weapons that are actually really strong. So if you just want something to hit the ground running once you've completed all this stuff and you just want to get farming, I think Dares of Eternity is probably one of the best places you can go. Dares of Eternity or PvP for Crucible and Gambit. These also give lots of loot, but they don't generally have like PvE friendly weapons. Sometimes Crucible can, so you know, check it out and just do what feels good and feels right to you. So hopefully that'll get you guys started. So I want to again thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. If you have any advice for me, any questions, any feedback, anything I could do better, please leave it in the comments. So please like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more or support the channel, and I hope you guys have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Peace off, Guardians.